former Vice President Al Gore. Mr. Gore, of course, the co-founder and chairman of the Climate Reality Project. Mr. Vice President, thanks for joining us on this Friday morning.
Thank you. Great to be with you. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth, sir. Thank you. We're going to get to climate change in just a moment. First, though, as we just mentioned, the Supreme Court on Thursday dealing another blow to this administration, ruling to uphold DACA. Your reaction to the ruling?
Oh, I welcome the ruling. I think it's a wonderful relief for all of these dreamers. And I hope that this ruling sticks because they'll go back and try to do it again, I'm sure. But they deserve a path to citizenship. And I was happy about the ruling.
Let's talk about police reform, of course, top of mind for so many folks in our country right now. When you were vice president, I recall you supported more funding for police. There is a movement afoot, of course, as you know, to reallocate funds in many police departments all over the country. What's your position on that now?
Well, I think the whole country has learned an awful lot in the last several decades about what works best and what doesn't work. And yes, we should not defund education and defund healthcare. And the word defund causes some confusion, but I think that most people are strongly in favor of reallocating and resorting funds to have mental health professionals and youth programs and all of these things that in the past have been put on the shoulders of police departments in addition to their traditional mission. I think we can do it better.
And Mr. Vice President, one more topic before we get to the Climate Reality Program. Overnight, Senator Amy Klobuchar dropped out of VP consideration, saying Vice President Biden should choose a woman of color. You have a unique perspective. You were a vice president. You had to choose a vice presidential candidate. What qualities would you advise Vice President Biden to look for a running mate?
Well, Joe Biden himself has said that his principal criterion is going to be who will be ready to become president on a moment's notice if that should become necessary. That's the right way to think about it. And I think he's looking at a very talented field, and he's going to make a good choice, I'm sure.
Okay, let's talk about the Climate Reality Project. You've got this training program coming up, but it's going to be held virtually for the first time.
Yeah, and first of all, Al, thank you for your consistent advocacy of solutions to the climate crisis. You're really doing great work on it, and I want to thank you for it. This will be the 44th time that I have trained people from around the world to become climate activists. We give them everything they need to know about the science, about the solutions, communications, and advocacy skills, and connect them with a network and mentors. And this is the first global training and the first virtual training, although the previous 43 have had people from around the world. But this one is unique. It's July 18 through July 26, 90 minutes to 2 hours each day during that week-plus period. And this is part of a continuing effort to build grassroots momentum to pressure policymakers in countries all over the world to get busy with the solutions to the climate crisis. You know, we've seen from the coronavirus pandemic the dangers of ignoring the scientists when they issue these dire warnings. And the consequences of climate are not just for months or years, but for centuries or even longer unless we get our act together. So this training, you can sign up by going to climatereality.com. And I hope people will. And thank you again, Al, for what you're doing.
Amen to that, Mr. Vice President. You just mentioned the pandemic, and one of the positive effects that it's had, one of the few positive effects, an 8% drop in greenhouse gases because of those stay-at-home orders. How do we build on that progress specifically, Mr. Vice President, as folks do start to get out more?
Well, that's a little bit of an illusion because, as economist Paul Krugman said, we put the economy in the equivalent of a medically induced coma. Countries around the world have done that. And naturally, the emissions are going to go down as economic activity goes down without changing over to other fuel sources. But we saw with the Great Recession a similar effect. And then when the economy came back, the emissions came back. And most of the experts think that's going to happen this time as well. However, this is occurring, Craig, against a backdrop of renewable electricity from solar and wind coming down so rapidly in cost. It's now cheaper than fossil fuel electricity in most of the world. And with the mandates in many places to use the cheapest electricity first, we're seeing fossil electricity go down even as renewable electricity is going up. Same thing with electric vehicles. Within a couple of years, they're going to be cost competitive, and people already who try them already prefer them. And so I think this is a time for a great reset. We've got to fix a lot of these problems that have been allowed to fester for way too long. And the climate crisis is an opportunity to create tens of millions of new jobs and clean up the air, reduce the death rate from pandemics, by the way, because the air pollution from burning fossil fuels heightens the death rates from coronavirus. So this is a time for a reset to fix a bunch of challenges, first among them the climate crisis.
All right. Well, Mr. Vice President Al Gore, thank you so much. We appreciate the insights, and we'll be talking to you again. Chanel?
Thank you.